Alright guys, welcome back to another Master and Apprentice video and podcast. So as you guys can see, we've got another leak for Avengers Doomsday. We've had three trailers officially kind of revealed, the teaser trailers. One with Captain Rogers, the return of Chris Evans, one with Chris Hemsworth and Thor, and just recently leaked and then officially revealed by Marvel, the X-Men with Professor Xavier, Eric, Magnus, Magneto, and our boy Scotty Summers. All very cool. Return of the Fox X-Men. Very, very cool. And then we had known there was going to be a fourth one. We didn't really know what it was going to be. It's supposed to be coming out this week throughout the theaters. And kind of had a lot of leaks go out throughout this week, but we didn't really know which one it was for sure. And we kind of know which one it is for sure. Very quick, not a lot going on, but we get kind of, confirmation of Namor and the Fantastic Four and the Wakandans, Black Panther, kind of all working together, right? We know what happened within Black Panther 2, the Wakandans, and they're not called the Atlanteans, but I can't remember what they're called. So for lack of a better word, the Atlanteans and Namor, not necessarily alliancing, but agreeing to not battle, not to go to war. So you kind of had that formidable agreement, and then Fantastic Four. If you know anything about Fantastic Four and Black Panther and Namor in comics, there's a long, deep history. Black Panther, if I'm not mistaken, originally debuted in a Fantastic Four comic, and Namor and the Fantastic Four have had a very trivial relationship, to say the least. So people were very interested to see how these characters and groups would interact, and this trailer gave us a little insight without showing the actual trailer because it's not out yet. Maybe some screenshots from it though. We initially start out with some talking, some monologuing. We get a really cool shot of Namor, a completely different fit. And now, if you've read the Jonathan Hickman Avengers, New Avengers run up to Secret Wars, and with the Illuminati and then eventually the Cabal, you remember his fit with like the all black, high collared with like blue outline. It looked very similar to something like that. Now, we had heard rumors that it was going to be something similar to that, and from the shot we see in the trailer, it does. It looks very, very cool. We didn't get like a full body. In fact, we only really got one or two shots of Namor, so we didn't really get to see much. But what we did, I thought was very cool. Pretty big fit change. But like that vibe of Namor, I think is probably one of the coolest ones in his history. Really cool idea. On top of that, we see Shuri and M'Baku. I think they're marching with a bunch of Wakandans. It looks like, and it looks like they're out in a desert. I don't know if it's like, I don't know what's going on. Where they are, but they come up and they meet and they start talking with Ben Grimm, and so they introduce themselves, and very, very cool. And it's just a 1 minute trailer, so it's very short, very stint. One of the other things to mention was when it does show the shot of the Atlanteans, whatever they're called, and Namor, they're not in water, they're in this desert area, so very out of their nature, right? And if you know anything about them, the drier they get, the less powerful they become. The more moisture that they have, the more powerful they are. So for them to be in the desert, it's not necessarily a good thing. So it's very interesting to see them in that setting in general. Who knows how they got in that situation, or if it was by decision or not. So very, very cool. It's probably, I think a lot of people say it's the least exciting, but I do think it's very interesting. I think it's shown the most, right, with the characters that we didn't really know how they're going to utilize, right? Because you can kind of see how they're going to use Cap and the Avengers and New Avengers, but someone like Namor, which he was mostly an antagonist, how are they going to use him? And the Fantastic Four, we just saw them, but they're from a different universe. How are they going to start connecting them to bigger pieces? So very, very cool trailer. All that being said, it doesn't really show us too much, but it does kind of give us an insight on some of the relationships we can see and expect in the movie. So very cool. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you guys If you guys have seen it, what you guys thought of it. If you haven't seen it, go check it out, or wait until it does come out. It's very cool. And all that being said, don't forget to hit that like, don't forget to hit that subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.